I figured Oprah might want to run for president, but with this guy? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the allegation that Oprah Winfrey wanted to run for president in 2020 with Mitt Romney as her running mate. Now, I am not making this up. This is a real thing. I'm not really surprised that she allegedly wanted to run. Not surprised at all. But with Mitt Romney, a GOP senator, really? I mean, maybe she wanted to be with Joe Biden and run with him to try and defeat Donald Trump, because that was the whole thing, right? That was the allegation. And this is coming from Mitt Romney. He has a book coming out about his life, a memoir coming out. So this is part of that. But if she was going to run, it would have been completely on the Democratic side. All right, because let's just show some things, shall we? Of course, this is Oprah. We all know who that is. Legendary daytime talk show host, interviewer, philanthropist. She has a studio where she records things. She is a very well-known person, a billionaire person. I think maybe even the only Black American female billionaire. If that's wrong, let me know in the comments. But that's her. And of course, we know about her loving the Obamas, okay? Because her studios were based in Chicago. She had her show in Chicago for a very long time. And Chicago is where Michelle Obama is from. That's where Barack Obama adopted as his new hometown after growing up in Indonesia and then Hawaii, which is a different story, but I digress. She loves the Obamas, and the Obamas love her. So why would she run for president on the GOP side? Or would Mitt come to her side? Or would it be an independent deal? I'm not really sure. Let's get into the article. This is New York Times, and I got a few more sources. I got Axios. I got a little bit of everywhere that are reporting the same thing. You see the headline. Oprah floated a 2020 presidential ticket with Mitt Romney. And the subhead says Miss Winfrey wanted to form the independent ticket. Oh, okay, independent. I'm about to say, I know it wasn't going to be GOP, not as stone cold stomp down liberal as Oprah Winfrey is. But anyway, Miss Winfrey wanted to form the independent ticket to stop Donald J. Trump. According to a forthcoming book, Mr. Romney listened to the pitch but passed on the idea, according to the biography. Now, that would have been the craziest ticket ever. She would have gotten a lot of backlash for that, because it doesn't matter if it's an independent ticket or a GOP ticket. People know Mitt Romney for being in the GOP. I don't think he was ever a Democrat or independent. And if that's wrong, y'all please correct me in the comments. But she would have got a ton of backlash for that. But anyway, see this right here. Oprah Winfrey floated the idea of a joint presidential ticket with Senator Mitt Romney of Utah in 2019, according to the book called Romney, A Reckoning, a forthcoming biography. Let's read the article here. Concerned that a Democratic field wasn't up to the task of stopping President Donald J. Trump in 2020, so she thought Joe Biden was weak, as many thought that Barack Obama himself thought that Joe Biden was weak and shouldn't run. Very interesting. Also, that shows her lack of faith in a fellow quote-unquote black woman in Kamala Harris. But I digress. So she didn't have much faith in the ticket in 2020. Oprah pitched Mitt Romney on the idea of running for president as an independent, with her as his running mate. So, okay, she was going to be the vice president and he was going to be the president. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. According to a forthcoming biography of the Republican senator from Utah, Miss Winfrey floated that unusual ticket in a phone call she placed to Mr. Romney's wife, Ann Romney, in November 2019, according to an excerpt from the book Romney, A Reckoning. Why we keep mentioning the name of the book? That's not really important. I'm not going to purchase the book. Thank you for the commercial, New York Times, but I'm not going to really read that. But okay, I have a question. So, do we think this is a legitimate story? Are we thinking that this is fake or real? I think it's real so far. It's pretty detailed, and I don't see why Mitt Romney would lie about that. I'm not a Mitt Romney fan at all in any way, shape, or form, fashion, but I don't see why he would lie about this. Let's keep on going. Mr. Romney at least listened to the idea. It was Oprah calling after all. He heard the pitch and told her he was flattered, but he have to pass. Liz Johnson, an aide to Mr. Romney, declined to comment on Monday. A spokeswoman for Miss Winfrey said in a statement that she had urged Mr. Romney to run, but not with her. Okay, so she's denying it. Her team are saying, nah, that's not true. She's saying that she urged him to run on his own, but not with her. Of course, she's not going to admit that because she realizes that if she links herself to a GOP senator at a time like right now, especially, that's going to be all bad. Anytime she did that, it was going to be bad. But I think she realizes it now. If she didn't know it back then, she most certainly knows it now. Let's keep on going. In November 2019, Ms. Winfrey called Senator Romney to encourage him to run on the independent ticket. The statement said she was not calling to be part of the ticket and was never considering running herself. Mr. Coppen's book was based on hours of interviews with Mr. Romney, as well as emails, texts, and journals that the senator had been saving to potentially write a memoir. Realizing he could not be objective about himself, Mr. Romney said he chose to have a journalist write about him instead. Ms. Winfrey's interest in forming an independent ticket with Mr. Romney, which was reported on Monday by Axios, is among several dishy items from the book, which is scheduled to be released on October 24th. Now, here's my question. Is it going to be a lot about Donald Trump? How much of that book is going to be about Donald J. Trump? Y'all let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Give me an over-under on the pages that will be dedicated to Donald Trump. Okay, but let's continue. She has known the Romneys since 2012 when she interviewed them at their lakeside home in New Hampshire as Mr. Romney was running for president. Ms. Winfrey has also seen Ms. Romney at various social events and was especially fond of her, according to the book. So she has known them for a long time, was fond of the wife, and did I read this correctly? They had a home in New Hampshire, but he is a Utah senator. Interesting. Anyway, on the phone with Miss Romney, Miss Winfrey explained that Michael Bloomberg, the former New York City mayor, was preparing to enter the race and had approached her about joining his ticket before she decided she wanted to gauge Mr. Romney's interest. So there were other suitors. Okay, you're talking about Michael Bloomberg. That could have been a presidential nominee on an independent ticket with Oprah as vice president. And then since she already knew Mitt Romney and his wife, she called him like, hey, what you trying to do? If you're not trying to do it, I might go over here and do it with him. Interesting. She doubted that Joe Biden Jr., she doubted that Joe Biden or Pete Buttigieg could beat Mr. Trump and was certain that Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts could not, according to the book. Ms. Romney responded that her husband would not run for president in 2020, either as a Republican or as an independent, Mr. Coppins writes. Mr. Romney also politely batted down the idea, according to the book. An aide to Mr. Bloomberg declined to comment. Ms. Winfrey has at times been mentioned as a potential presidential candidate herself. Now, we can get into more of this here, but I think Oprah, many of us know that Oprah has had presidential aspirations or allegedly has had those aspirations. It's been pretty obvious. You always, like at a certain time, she'll talk politically and just try to gauge the field. And maybe if she thinks that it's not really a good time, she'll go ahead and decline. But we all see what's going on. But as I close, I want to say this. I think that Mitt Romney's telling the truth. I think that he's actually telling the truth here. I don't see why he would lie. There's no reason to. Oprah has a reason to deny the allegations because she does not want to be linked to him. But how would this information about Oprah benefit Mitt Romney? How would it help him? If he's lying, it would hurt him more than anything else. So he has all the reason to tell the truth while she has all the reason to lie. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Oprah tried to run with Mitt Romney in 2020 to beat Trump because she had no faith in Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Pocahontas, and everybody else that could have been a potential person to go against Trump? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I am not a Mitt Romney fan, but I think he's telling the truth. I think he's being honest. I think that she wanted to run with him on the independent ticket. Of course, it would have been a disaster. They would have lost, obviously. It would have been a mess. It wouldn't have helped Oprah or Mitt Romney at all. So he was right to decline, and she's lucky that he declined because, again, it would have been a mess. It wouldn't have helped her at all. If anything, it would have hurt her aligning herself next to a GOP senator. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.